Hey, what's good, family? Peace and blessings, peace and abundance. Is your boy Lantwaka, is your boy Nelson. You know what to do. Lock in, tune in, tapping, smash the like button. What's good, family? Hope you're winning, hope you're showing up to learn, becoming the greatest version every single day. What's good, family? It's your boy Lantwaka. If you're new to this family, you're welcome to Living Waters. Okay, we're standing for truth as God's counsel. We're lifting the collective vibration of humanity. We're standing for authenticity, family. So do us a lock in, stay to the end of the video. We got some special for us today, family. Okay, we're talking about semen retention. And as a man, you need to understand this truth, family. As a man, you lose respect, you lose influence when you trivialize your seed. When you trivialize your sexual energy as a man, you lose respect. This is where you lose that influence. You need to understand this truth. Family, so do all to lock in, tune in, stay to the end of the video, family. Okay, I want you to understand the fact that women actually love you, they respect you, they value you, they see you as a high value male, they see you as a challenge, they see you as a puzzle, they see you as a prize when you're retaining your sexual energy, when you're controlling yourself, when you're practicing self-discipline, they respect you, they value you. This is real. This is key, family. You need to understand this truth. They want to follow your lead. They want to be submissive to you. They know you can actually control. They know you can actually lead. Why? Because you're actually leading and controlling yourself, family. This is real. But the minute you begin to dissipate your energy, the minute you begin to play with yourself, even with the lady you begin to play with, she begins to disrespect your family. This is real. You need to understand this truth, family. You really need to understand this truth. As a man, when you begin to trivialize your sexual energy, you lose respect. Even with a lady you disrespected yourself with. This is real. When you disrespect yourself, people's gonna disrespect you. Why? Because it's like a principle. This is like what you sow is gonna be what you're gonna reap, family. There's no two ways about it, family. This is real. It's like you're violating a principle. When a man standing on principle, when a man is standing on principle, he becomes invisible to the insult, assault of the enemy within and the enemy outwardly, family. But when a man violates the principle, just like the laws of gravity, when you violate the principle of gravity, okay, you're bound to face the consequences. You're bound to face the effect of the cause which you actually did, family. This is real. There's no two words about it, family. You need to understand this truth, family. Okay, when a man begins to dissipate his sexual energy, he begins to lose value and influence from the people who once admire him, from the people who once respect him. This is real. People begins to disrespect you. They begins to look you with this disdain look. That begins to speak to you disrespectfully, family. This is real. You need to understand this truth because you've actually disrespected yourself. You need to understand this truth, okay? People who once admire you, people who once look up to you, because you've actually violated your moral conscience, because you've actually violated the law. This is where you lose respect. You actually lose that influence. This is where, family, you need to understand this truth. Okay, and I want you to also understand the fact that the world is like a mirror to you. What's happening inside of you actually is a reflection. The world is like a reflection of what is happening inside of you. When you begin to dissipate your energy, when you begin to disrespect yourself, the world begins to disrespect you. Why? Because when you violate the moral principle and you violate the moral principle, this guilt begins to take root in you. This guilt that has to eat up your confidence begins to take root, and people can actually detect when you are not standing on principle, when you are actually playing with yourself. This is real. People begins to disrespect you in general. This is real. When a man retains his sexual energy, when a man values himself, respects himself, and he's working on self-control, okay, you know what happens is like an aroma. Whatever he touches, actually, there's this influence in whatever he touches, whatever he goes, people he touches, people who he speaks to, this influence. He has this influence. It's like a beautiful scent, it's like a beautiful aroma. Wherever he goes, this scent actually leaves an imprint in the people and the places wherever he goes, whatever he does. This is real. But when he violates his moral conscience, when he violates this principle, this aroma becomes a stinking smell. And wherever he goes, people can detect that the smell that was actually pleasant now is becoming unpleasant, family. This is real, and people begins to reflect that back to you. This is real, family. You need to understand this truth. Okay, you really need to understand this truth. As a man, you need to value yourself. You need to respect yourself. You own it to yourself. Respect is actually gained. It's not something that is demanded, family. This is real. When you begin to play with yourself, when you give into your moral temptation in time and season, when you give into your moral temptation, the current and time and the season actually has to disrespect it, because if you actually disrespect yourself, you violate yourself. This is real, family. You need to understand this truth, family. Okay, like I said, when you practice meditation, when you actually practicing this holy living, you're retaining yourself. Women might not admit it verbally to you that they admire you, that they respect you, that they are being drawn to you, and they don't know why they are being drawn to you. But you know, family, this is real. This is key. You need to understand this truth, family. Once you begin to violate your moral conscience, you begin to lose that influence. You begin to see your reflection from outwardly. This is real. So every assault outwardly, inwardly begins to get to you. This is real. Why? Because you violated the principle. Just like the scripture said, if a man breaks on edge, the serpent is going to bite. It's like cause and effect, family. This is where you sow what you reap. This is where if you disrespect yourself, people are going to disrespect you. If you respect yourself, people are going to respect you. When you give into your lower nature, you open yourself up to be disrespected. You lose influence. This is real. Just like the law of gravity that, like I was saying, okay, when you don't violate the law of gravity, you're being shielded, you're being protected. But when you do violate the law of gravity, you get harmed for it. You face the consequence. You dance to the beat of your own drum, family. This is real. This is key, family. You need to understand this truth. Okay, as a man, you need to understand this truth also. When a lady chooses you, when a lady wants to be submissive to you, a girl wants to be submissive to you, like your wife, like your fiancé and all that. Okay, when she's loyal, not just love, when she's loyal to you, then you can actually commit your seat to her. Okay, as in you can actually commit your seed to her because she can actually handle your seed. Not everyone you give your seed, not just the random women. This is real, family. Even the Bible and the book of Proverbs, chapter 31, verse 3, it says, "Give not thy strength, man, give not thy strength unto women, or thy ways to that which destroy kings." Family, you need to understand this truth, family. Okay, when a lady actually respect your value, want to be committed to you, want to be submissive to you, then as a man, she's willing to carry your seed. You can actually commit your seed to her so she can able to carry your seed, family. Not just a random, not just a strange woman. This is real. Sex should be something that elevates the both party, not something that diminishes you, but something that elevates you, that actually connects you to infinite intelligence, family. This is where you have this connection with infinite intelligence, like having sex with the right female, like with the ideal male. This is real, not someone, not just doing it for pleasure, but something sacred to be valued, family. You need to understand this truth. So as a man, you owe it to yourself to retain, to respect yourself. This is real. This is real. Sexual intercourse should be something that elevates your frequency, to connect to the divine, to have this intimate with the divine. This is real, family. You need to understand this truth, family. Okay, and I want you also to understand that as a man practicing meditation, you're like a puzzle, like you're challenging to women, and women love challenges, family. This is real. You become a puzzle that needs to be unraveled, that needs to be solved, that begins to tempt you, that begins to lure you into giving into your lust. And once you give into that lust, you lose you lose respect. When you give into that loss, they actually solve the challenge. They actually you're no longer a challenge to them when you actually give into your loss, you give into your lower nature, because they try to tempt you directly or indirectly. They try to solve the challenge. They try to see why this person is different. Why is he being sick? Why has he been different? What's different about this person? It's like a challenge to them. So they try to solve that. They try to tempt you directly or indirectly. This is real, family. And once you give into it, the challenge is gone. They don't see you as a challenge no more, because while you violated the principle, you actually lost. You've actually seen what's making you tick, family. This is real. So they try to move to the next brother, or they move to the next challenge, family. This is real. You need to understand this truth. Okay, but this is a question, like Joseph in the Bible. Do you think if Joseph had to fall, like if Joseph fell for his moral temptation towards Potiphar's wife? Do you think Potiphar's wife would have retained and loved him and continue with him forever? It's not possible, family. She's gonna disrespect him. She's gonna disrespect Joseph because he has actually seen what makes Joseph tick, family. This is real. You need to understand this truth. Okay, maybe 2, 3 times playing with Joseph and all that, she's gonna disrespect him. This is real because he has actually violated his moral principle, violated his moral conscience. This is real, family. You need to understand this. So as a man, you need to respect yourself. You are the head, you are the leader in your household, you are the leader. Your family is moving at a pace of your growth, of your evolution, of your frequency. This is real, family. As a man, you are the director, you are the steering of your family. This is real. You're the one setting the pace for your kids to go along, for your kids to move ahead of you. You're the one setting the pace. When a man fails, his family is going to go that same direction when a man fails. But when a man becomes better, his family becomes better. Why? Because he's the head. This is real, family. You need to understand this truth. A man, you are the head. Just like in any organization, just like in any enterprise, the organization grows in proportion equivalent to how the leader grows, to how the head grows. This is real, family. You need to understand this truth. You really need to understand this truth. So this is what the message is all about. Respect is not demanded. It's something that is aimed. This is real. It's something that is aimed. So as a man, you need to respect yourself. You need to own it to yourself. You need to discipline yourself. You need to walk in this self-control. Even though you're losing respect, you're losing influence. Even in your organization, you're losing influence. When you begin to give into your moral temptation, when you start giving into your lust, you start dissipating your energy to the wrong set of persons, family. This is real. You need to understand this truth as a man. This is what the message is all about. When you begin to dissipate your sexual energy, you begin to lose that influence. You begin to lose that respect. People who once admire you begin to look you with this disdain look. They begin to look like someone who's stained, who has stained themselves. This is real. Your presence that actually has this pleasant aroma begins to begins to gush out this stinking scent, family. This is real, and people can detect that. This is real. We're all energy, family. And energy does not lie, family. So this is what the message is all about. So man, you need to retain yourself. You need to be self-disciplined. You need to discipline yourself. To become your greatest version, you need to walk in holiness. You need to walk in purity. You need to walk in self-respect. You need to respect yourself. You want the world to respect you. You want to command that influence in your organization, in your family. You need to respect yourself. This is real. This is real. Okay, you need to understand this truth. This is why people are being drawn to you because you value yourself. Women are being drawn to you because you're working in self-control. The CEOs are high value male. Not every man is doing this. Not every man is working on self-discipline. Not every man is trying to better your life. This is real, family. You need to understand this truth. So as a man, you need to respect yourself. You need to respect yourself. This is what the message is all about. I hope it resonates with you. I hope it comes home to my kings out there and to my queens out there. Peace and blessings, family. I hope this message inspire you to become better. If it does, put in the comment section. Let me know about what you think about the video. Okay, peace and blessings, family. Have a wonderful time.